questions?
Kyle, Janarian, making any progress?
He is making progress. He is. We'll see how much we can get out of this spring. I'm not sure yet.
And what would be the main differences for this scrimmage compared to the first one?
We'll do the first difference will be we'll do it right at 11 a.m. And that's the most unique start time we have, so I try to do that in the spring so that the team has gone through the routine of it. It'll be a full pregame as if we would do it on game day. So with the exception of being in the hotel, everything should feel like game day, 11 a.m. kickoff. And then we'll play a lot of situations, really. At some point or another, we'll hit every situation that we have in, and that'll be a lot of good work for a lot of these younger players.
What will you look for out of the quarterbacks?
The operation is the most important. We've still got a long way to go in some of the end of game scenarios because those things are complicated. And there's a lot going on in those situations for the quarterback, and the more times we can put them in there, in those situations in the stadium, with the clock on and the officials, those will be the reasons why we execute in the fall and win games.
Has there been anything new you've seen out of the quarterbacks this week that maybe caught your eye?
I think they're making improvement. I think they're getting better. In terms of specifics, I wouldn't note anything right now, but I think we're making good progress.
Is either one ahead at this point?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay, what's the responsibility like for Gauze and Longa right now as you break in a new middle linebacker and a lot of new faces on defense?
In the spring, I want to see them do two things. I want to see those guys get better at what they're doing. They should finish spring practice better players than they started it. And now they have to lead the other players. We have a lesser experienced middle linebacker right now, so to me the onus is on Steve and Quentin to make sure the communication process is smooth, to make sure the practice is running at the tempo that we want to practice at. And I think Isaiah is doing a good job of falling in line and doing that with us.
Kyle, when you look at spring practice, I know you think of things day at a time, but when you look back, what jumps out to you about it so far?
I don't know that I can answer that question just yet, just because I won't really look back until it's over. We try to take each day individually and be 1-0 in each practice and get the players better with the time we have out there on the field. We certainly speak every day about what it is we think we need more work at from a situation standpoint to make sure we've been in the red zone enough times, to make sure we've been backed up enough times, to make sure we get enough third down snaps so that the young offensive linemen can see all the different pressures that they have to see facing our defense. So those things we evaluate on a daily basis, but I don't know that I'll know until the end of it exactly what we've accomplished in total.
You mentioned earlier this spring about wanting to see Steve Longa go to the next level. Is that kind of what you're looking for out of Darius too? Because obviously he's played so much football. What do you look for out of him as a senior year?
Sure. Any of those players that have been in your program for 3 years and they're entering spring practice before their fourth season, whether they've played 4 years or not, to me, you really are trying to make sure that those guys are taking their game to the next level. It's different for them because they should be familiar with the schemes and the techniques, and now you're almost fine-tuning the engine a little bit with some of the older players.
Do you feel like Darius proved last year, and you wasn't a worry of yours, but we talked so much about the big size of the offensive lineman versus the size of your defensive lineman. You think Darius proved last year he could hold his own in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think Darius is an elite player. I know we feel that way as a coaching staff. I would imagine that the teams we play feel the same way.
With the amount of guys you have, kind of banged up, out, or limited, how much does that just affect what you guys do at this point?
It just affects reps. That's all. The more teams you have, if you have a full third team, then you can get more reps in practice. But the players that are out there are getting the reps that they would normally get.
How's Darian Daly doing with his extra reps? The two starting corners out.
No, I feel like Darian's making progress. He's a guy who's made plays this spring, and that young secondary has made plays. It's been fun to watch.
Coach, you talked the other day about sliding Chaffee inside. Hampton lined up, took a bunch of reps at safety today. Can you talk about maybe that being a move for him in the future? Yeah, but part of what we're doing in the spring is we're trying to figure out where the flexibility in the players is. There's an expression in coaching that we tell the players, that the more you can do, the more valuable you are. And spring is really where we test all those things out. And then we'll make some decisions as we get closer to the fall in terms of where everybody's going to land. But Saquon, Anthony, those are guys that we feel like can play multiple positions. A guy like DeLon Stevenson is another guy that we feel like can play multiple positions. And I wouldn't rule out the other players either as we go.
Anything else, Adam?
Thank you.